Hi, Andy here, and welcome back to Moorland Model Railway for this, October/November update on what's been happening on the layout. Celebrating Scotland. Ooh, this is a nice one. So, firstly, I have been away for, a while. It's been a while since I did my last video. And I've not had any trains running for quite a while now. Well, not until this week. And there's been various reasons for that. Number one, we've been on holidays. In July we went away, and then in October we went away. We went up to Scotland. In between that time we've had a dog that's been quite poorly, but he is getting better now. And we also had the builders in doing a small job next door to the train room. And they were here for a couple of 3 weeks. And they made a lot of mess and a lot of dust, as builders do. So that is another reason that I've not been on the layout. It was all planned, obviously. I knew it was going to happen. So the June and July videos that you saw were filmed both at the same time, and then I scheduled them out. Then I had that little bit of spare time when the WWS diorama competition was out, so I spent time on the WWS competition rather than doing anything on the railway, which I really enjoyed, and that diorama is now on the railway. So those are some of the reasons why I've not uploaded anything, and things have taken a little bit of a backseat. So what's been happening? Well, whilst I say I've done nothing on the layout, well, I've done bits and bobs on other things, like I've been fitting Hunt's couplings to my rolling stock. I've also been painting hundreds of little figures, fine scale figures. I think I may have showed those on the last video, but I carried on and I've done a lot more. And I'll add photos in. I haven't done a film of me painting. Watching paint dry can be a little bit, well, not, I won't say boring, but it's not exciting to watch paint dry. So I have done it in photo form. So I've taken photos as I've been going along. So I'll add those into this film. I've also got some stuff from West Hill Wagon Works. You can see a couple of the items in front of you. That inspection platform that's next to the West Coast 37. There's one either side, so they're painted up now. So I've been spending my time doing that sort of thing. And after such a long time not running any trains, it took me nearly a week to get all the track clean. And I used one of those CMX cleaners. So I cleaned it all off, and then I sent my little Hoover train around as well, and that cleaned all the rubbish off. But that had to be done twice to get the track clean. And then it was vehicle maintenance or rolling stock maintenance. So all the trains had to have the wheels cleaned, all the rolling stock had to have the wheels cleaned. So I was doing that and painting the insides of carriages. So while I've got everything on the workbench, I decided to go the whole log. So I apologise for not making a video, but those are some of the reasons why. I might also add a little bit of a musical interlude in this for Anthony Dodge, the model railroad outsider over in America, because I know he likes a bit of music, so I'll just add a little bit of music in as I've recently been to see Genesis. I've also got a few thank yous, sort of shout outy thank yous. So the first one is to Alan over at Dragon Junction, who gave me a shout out a few months ago now. And as I said, I'd already pre-recorded my June and July videos, so I couldn't put them onto that. And then I didn't think they were appropriate on the last two videos, which were more to do with the WWS build. So this is the first opportunity. So Alan at Dragon Junction, thank you very much for the shout out, and I hope you're now starting to recover from your COVID incident. I'm sure you will be. So all the best, mate, and hope you're getting better. So the next shout out is for Jason at Barnabas Junction, get my teeth put in, where he had a competition to name the pub on his layout, and I got one of the runner-up prizes. So in the post came a load of stuff from Jumble Lane Printing, and Jason said, I hope that you can use these. Well, yeah, I have a traditional market on my layout, so they'll be added in onto the market. Children's trampoline, well, I've got gardens with children in. Pub with picnic tables. Oh yes, always have pubs with picnic tables. I've got a couple of pubs on the layout that need a picnic table. And then there's a war memorial here. It says Suffolk, but it can be anywhere. It's now the Staffordshire Moorlands. And where I live, we do have a war memorial in the town. So that will be the war memorial in the town. So that will be made up. There were some other items, but they're already on the layout. There was the royal drums for a start. Well, they're already on the layout, all painted up and done. Okay, the next shout out, thank you, is to Steve from Route 7 Railway over in Merseyside. he ran a competition recently, well, a while ago now. I even forgotten that I'd entered it, and I watched one of his videos, and there it was, I'd won. And the prize was a bus, and I got a nice note from Steve, and this bus came in the post, and it said, I hope you can use it. Yeah, well, I have used it, and it's on the layout already, Steve. As you can see, it's now the school bus. So there it is outside the school, waiting for the kids to come out. So thanks very much to Steve at Route 7 Railway. Okay, the last shout out thank you goes to my friend Gary over at Settle Carlisle, or Settle Carlisle 68, who sent me in the post, I'm just taking that off because it's got my address on, this Dutch barn kit from Scenics. And he also sent me a packet of 3D printed pigs, and he sort of not challenged me, but he said, I'd like to see these on your layout. So he sent them me. There are plans to put these onto a layout, so it's another case of watch this space, because yes, the barn and the pigs will be included. So thank you very, very much for that, Gary. It is much appreciated. So getting on to the Scenics then. I think on the very last video that I did, I left this and it was sort of just white. So I have painted it up. The trees have started going back on. Not finished with putting trees on yet, but yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. We'll have a closer look in a second, but I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. It's a lot better than it was before. I haven't videoed doing any of the work, but what I did do was I've taken a series of photographs, so I shall add those into the video so that you can see them. So there'll be a bit like of a time lapse on photographs. So taking a closer look at the rock face, been done with washes, various washes on top of each other, and if you look very closely, we've even got peregrine falcons nesting, or have been nesting, on the rock face. So there's one of the adults, and I'll try and just swing over quite slowly so that you can see one of the others. That's the other adult. So they're peregrine falcons. I've got a thing about peregrine falcons. I used to look after them, I should say, protect them, well, as part of my job. And there on the nesting ledge, if you look very, very closely, I'll see if I can just point them out. Just there, you've got 2 youngsters. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how that rock face has come out. Really pleased. So I've also been blending in the diorama competition form into the scene. So it's now got a lane just down on the left of the picture there that disappears behind the forestry. A bit of a woodland, and things have changed slightly on the hillside. So the quad bike's gone, and we've got the farmer with his 3 sheepdogs getting the sheep in rather than the quad. A scene that I much prefer, actually. And then out on the hill, you can just about make out Mr. Fox or Mrs. Fox just running through the grassland. And there's another farmer there with the 2 younger collies. They're waiting to be taught how to go and round up sheep, so they're just waiting at the gate, waiting for the sheep to come back. So that's the view down the lane behind the forest yard. So let's get the drone view and look at the forest yard. This isn't finished, by the way. A lot more work's got to be done, but I'm just blending in the walls at the moment. All the grit got to be toned down, but I'm quite happy with how the new forest yard's looking. And obviously the Forestry Commission guys are there working away, so they must be happy. So the tunnel side of the forest is virtually finished. I have got to put a 6-foot fence up around the outsides, just on the tunnel entrances, just to stop the deer. They're in there just having a quick graze, to stop them jumping onto the tracks. So that's a little job to do. So we have added lights to the buildings now. There isn't much light bleed. Obviously the one at the back hasn't been completely finished, so you can see light bleed in that building, but that one's not fixed down yet. Well, none of them are fixed down, but I've stopped the light bleed in that one. And there's lights underneath the shed, so the guys can park up the trailers and tractors under there when it's dark. And there's lighting in the office bit at the back now. Shows up really well when it's dark. At the moment it's a bit too light, but we will have a look. I'll add a bit on at the end that shows it when it's dark. And I've also had to put lights in on the farm. They're actually shining a lot brighter in the camera than they actually do. And there is a light shining down the yard. Obviously you can't see that at the moment, so we'll have a look when it gets darker. I also had a little bit of a problem with the station lights. Some of these weren't in, they weren't working, so while I was wiring up the lights in the farm, I decided I'd address the problem here. So now they're all working. As part of the scenery, or additions to the scenery, I've got rid of all my black and white cows, the dairy cows, and I've replaced them with this herd of short-horn type cattle rather than the rather than the normal black and white milking cows. So there is representing the more of an uplandy type cow, rather than, like I've said, the black and white Holsteins that you get generally on lower pastures where the grass is greener and better for them to eat. These things can eat anything. I've also done the same in the marshy area. I've got rid of the Holsteins again because they just wouldn't survive here probably, and I've made myself some belted Galloways, and the farmer's there just feeding his tups. The tups are away from the ewes, just building them up ready for the springtime. I've not done anything about this river come stream water feature bit of scenics between the two farming areas yet. That will be done later in the winter. That is because I need to get on with this. The station area. I keep promising that I will do it. My wife keeps nagging me saying, I want the station bit. She keeps saying, I want it gritting and I want it finishing. The station needs to be finished. It's a big part of the layout, so I want it done. So yeah, it will be done. However, one of the reasons that it hasn't been done yet is because I'm not quite happy with this bit, with the two lines coming in together into one. So what I'm deciding, 99% certain I'm going to do this now. This line here, excuse the finger, but this line here will terminate. That point there will be moved out and it'll be moved to the other end of the layout, so that the lines can cross over, so I can have the two lines coming together, but that will be a terminus. I'm not happy with this bit of platform and how it is so close to the back of the houses, so that will be cut off somewhere at this point. So that will be cut off across there. The track will terminate with a buffer, and it'll be a there and backy come branch line. And so I'm thinking of getting one of these modules that the train comes in, stops for a while in the station, then goes back out, stops, then comes back in. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. So it'll be just like a branch line, and I think it'll look a lot better with this then landscaped properly. So that's the plan. So that'll mean the lights up at the top there, they will be moved. So they'll be moved onto the next platform because I need one there, and I have got one for the far platform over there. So another double light signal will be placed on there. Okay, so it's not totally dark, but it is getting darker. And you can see the lights do light up really quite well. And yes, I know I've got 4 chimney pots in the yard because I knocked them off when I was putting the lights into the building. As I say, the lights in here actually shine up a lot more on the camera. They look a lot brighter on the camera than they do in actual real life. They're like a really nice yellowy light, and which is great from down at the bottom end. It does really look nice from the bottom end. And this is the view of the forestry yard. It looks really quite good under the light. Once again, it looks a bit brighter than it does in actual life. So I just like it. It's a nice yellowy light. Very nice. And when you look from back here, it looks just like a real countryside scene. You just get these 2 blocks of light and everything else is dark. So there we are. That's what it looks like when it's dark. Really quite nice, I think. You just got the station lights just to the right, and then just up on the hill you've got the two sets of buildings. So this is the view from the back end of the village. Over the village, over the station, and then to the 2 little sheds of light right in the background. Just like the Peak District. So yeah, so I have been changing the couplings on most of the rolling stock. All the HSTs are done. All the the passenger carriages are done with Hunt couplings. And on some of the rolling stock, some of the wagons, I just didn't think they looked right, and I just thought the KDs looked a little bit better. They certainly worked okay. So on some of the stock I have actually put KDs. So this is all that's left of the 100+ figures that I've been painting. Okay, so we've got different pigeons here. We've got feral pigeons here at the front and wood pigeons at the back. Some more wood pigeons there. Quite difficult to paint. More wood pigeons. Couple of foxes that haven't been put onto the layout yet, and obviously the people. So they're all that's left basically. That's my ex-boss in his long legs and slim haircut. And that's a young lady that I used to work with, who was named Lynn, who was one of the rangers. And this is Stephen. So I've modelled these people on people that I actually know. So there we go. And there's one or two other people in the background that are modelled on people that I might know. So we fitted lights in into the carriages, and we fitted people just to give it that little bit more of a realistic look. I've also painted some of the interiors of the carriages because the plain red plastic just looked so naff really. Let's see if I can get it that's better, nice and in focus. So you'll see they're all the carriages on this HST have now got lights, and they've also got people sitting in some of the seats. I've painted over 100 sitting down people, and I've put them in about 3 trains. They've gone absolutely nowhere. So I've also painted the interiors of these cross-country coaches as well, these HST coaches. I had a look online and I looked at first class coaches and second class coaches and the differences in colour, and they seem to have white headrests and red seats, white tables in the first class that I looked at. So that's why I've gone with this one. I've also done the same with the restaurant buffet car. So that was classed as first class. So that's what I've done. Headrests, white tables. But then in the second class coaches, I noticed the seating was grey, so I've put grey seats and white tables in the second class. Well, standard class as it says. So that's how I've done it. I think it really shows up well when they're in the dark. No passengers in this one yet. I need to buy some more passengers and start painting. So these are also new additions. I got these way back in June, and they've never been onto the layout due to all the little bits and bobs that we've been doing. As I mentioned before, the builders and holidays and everything else that was going on. So these were never put onto the layout, but they are a curious scale, and I got them way back in June. So there's the outer and the inner set, and I'm really pleased with them. I think they're brilliant. And we'll just see them go by, and they've got loads in. The Freightliner load that went past earlier, I've made myself, but these Acura scale loads are the Acura scale ones, and as you can see right on the very back, it has got a flashing light. So you can see on the East Midlands train we've also been busy. We've fitted a driver. We've actually put a driver in both ends because one end goes to Crewe and one end goes to Derby. And we've also fitted passengers. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Once again, thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for the people that subscribe to me, and thanks very much for all the comments that come through and all the support that I get on this layout. That's family, friends, on different groups. So yeah, thank you very much. It is much appreciated and it helps with ideas.